Greetings and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Neverwinter Nights. Right, on to Linu Lanaral.
My dear friend, it warms my heart to see your face again. Erikson must have brought you here to help search for the words of power.
It's good to see you again, Linu Lanaral. Right. She wanted to go. After Erebeth's betrayal, I readied myself for a return to Everesca. Yet somewhere deep inside I prayed that we'd meet once more, Malcolm. And I heard of Erikson's call for brave adventurers. Yeah. Alright. You are drawn to heroic deeds like a glutton to a bakery, Malcolm. I grabbed the first ride out of town and came here. Well, the second ride of town, actually, got me here. Oh, Linu, what happened to the first ride? You make it sound as if... Oh, alright, never mind. I was supposed to hitch a ride with one of the supply wagons at first, but the wagon I was on broke. Broke? How did it break? Well, we had stopped for the night and I had this nightmare that the dragon was chasing me. I woke up out of the dream and saw something large outlined against the moon. I should have known better, but it didn't look like a dragon. But I was frightened. So I cast the first spell that came to mind. The first blast of lightning did a little damage, but it was following the following three that shattered it to little tiny pieces. Did the Wagoneers throw you out? It was dark and everyone was so shocked by the lightning that no one knew where it come from. I suppose that I probably should have told them it was me. I had to get here though, and I will pay Lord Nasha back out of my own weights when we are done here. Do you know anything about the words of power, Linu? I don't know where they would be, although I think such magic would most likely be associated with the ancient times. That leads me to think about some ruins far to the south of here. What about them? I have read lately of ruins that contain traces of ancient cultures whose knowledge of magic ran deeper than any living today. I am an elf of Everesca, a land where studying the mysteries is more than a path. It is the highest calling. Well, you were also married to an archaeologist, so... The ruins to the south call to me, as if they hide knowledge that is imperative to us. How convenient. I suppose that may be just my own heritage, driving me to study something as old and unusual as these ruins are reputed to be, but it might even be more than that. I will follow your lead as always, dear Malcolm. You are a better judge of such things than I am. Yes, I certainly am. The best judge in the world. Right, travel with me.
Hey
And now
there, dear.
talk. Oh, finally, we're not gonna bother about Erebeth. What made you decide that you should be a cleric? My, it's been a long time since someone asked me that question. I came to see in Munbo when I was very young, which is unusual since my parents were both mages and followers of the god Colorong. It started when I was sent to Godelin Centristi School for Potentials. You see, both my parents were deep into the mysteries and held positions of respect. It was assumed that I would take after my parents in the magical arts. What are potentials? All children of gifted wizards in Everesca are sent to the special schools as potentials, because they are expected to excel in furthering the art of spellcraft. My ability to get into trouble had always started at that age, but my parents had kept it quiet, thinking I would grow out of it. Okay, go on. My first day of classes was a disaster, but I don't think it had anything to do with my ability for spellcasting. I had an insatiable curiosity, and Godelin was a crotchety old master who expected all elven children to be patient, quiet, and orderly. I barely possess those traits now, let alone when I was a child. The master decided to open class with a powerful spell, to awe us into submission to his tutelage. He turned his back, and I moved in. What do you mean by moved in? I just wanted to look at the spell components, They were very interesting, especially the wonderful gem he had sitting beside the circle. Well, he went to reach for the gem, and it wasn't there. The spell misfired, causing him to ooze purple smoke for weeks. So he kicked you out? Gödelin was well paid for training us. He didn't kick me out right away, but he never forgave me either. It also wasn't the only accident to befall the class when I was around. Despite all this, I might still have become a wizardess if it wasn't for the little trip I took. That was an accident that will be long remembered in our fair city. My fate became sealed to my faith in Sayanin that day. What fate would that be? I will have to tell you of my dimension hopping trip later. We have too much to do right now to tell that tale. We need to find the words of power for Erikson if we are to save Neverwinter. Well, I agree, but your story sounds way more interesting than the story being told in this module.
Somehow I knew you couldn't be far. As soon as Erikson mentioned why we were brought here, I began wondering when you would pop up.
It is good to see you again, Sherwin. Did I say it was good to see you? I only said I knew you'd come. Haha, you only jest, Malcolm. Of course it is good that you are here. I wasn't going to come to Bayerun's well originally. I figured that I had done enough by your side. But the story isn't finished just yet, is it? And you know that what a sucker I am for a good tale. So what do you say then, Malcolm? Shall we join together again? I want to see this unfold firsthand. Do you know anything about the words of power, Sherwin? No, nothing at all. I find that strange too. I know considerable lore, yet neither I nor any of the tomes I've researched mention them. I have an idea where to look, however. Where? South of Ilkat are supposed to be ancient ruins, older than any settlement in the Northlands by far, so the tales say. It was supposedly once the home of the creator race that predates even the elves, if you can imagine that. I have never heard of anyone returning from it though, so it could be anything. The magic power in the area is supposed to be incredible. There are many stone monoliths which are too dangerous to even approach, which would give me even more reason to believe this might be there. Alright, join up. And let's talk. How about telling me a tale, Sherwin? You are a bard, after all. I normally save my best tales for taverns with a full audience. Why should I recount a tale only for you, Malcolm? Ooh, what should I tell her? Oh, because I asked you nicely. Oh-ho? So Malcolm puts on a pleasant tone and I'm supposed to jump and please him? Is that it? Haha. I'll tell you what, Malcolm. I'll tell you your tale, if you promise to listen attentively and be a proper audience. I can do that. Well, that's good. I'll hold you to it then. But what story should I tell then? Shall I tell them of a great Malcolm, savior of Neverwinter, in his search for the words of power? I think I know that one. Not like I tell it, believe me. You're probably right, however, the subject matter would be a bit familiar. And I'm a bit fuzzy on the ending. Well, imagine that. You can't see into the future. How about the sad tale of great Lady Erebeth, torn between love and honor, fallen from the grace of Tyr? I've heard the ending. That's true, isn't it? Too bad. Hers is a sad tale that itches to be told. Let's see. I'll think of something else. How about the tale of the great Lord Nasher? How the man was in his glory days before he became a sad old ruler. How about something original? You're going to be picky, are you? Very well. Give me some time to think about it. For now, let's continue with the making of our own tale. Yep.
I figured they'd...
But I'll do that with Tommy on the gallows. Alright, we're finally done here. Everything that I wanted to do in Bayerun as well, pretty much I've done. So where to go first? I think I'll go to the Coldwood. For no particular reason, other than that it's probably the best place to start. For now. Alright, so how far am I from leveling? Quite a while. You need to speak to me, do you? Delvar Vanathar?
Yes? Hello?
I know you. You're Malcolm Erikson, right? You're that Paladin who's working for Erangend, aren't you? That's right. I'm Malcolm Erikson. Who are you, peasant? The name's Delvar. I'm a scout working for Erangend. Before he sent me out, he mentioned that Malcolm Erikson, the hero who saved Neverwinter from the plague, was working for him now. I was always working for him, even indirectly. He told me to keep an eye out for you and gave me a brief description of what you looked like. Why did Gent tell you to keep an eye out for me? Some time ago, Erikson sent me out to scout the Coldwood. He thought it might help you in your mission if you had some advanced information about the area. This is the only path into the Coldwood, so I set up a little camp here to keep an eye out for you and anyone else working for Eren who might pass my way. It is the only way I could be sure of getting you the information. Have you found anything out about the Words of Power? I'm afraid I didn't find anything out about the Words of Power themselves. If I had, I would have reported that directly to Eren, pronto. I did stumble across some orc bandits though. Had to watch my steps so they didn't find me spying on them. And I nearly stumbled over a strange magical portal in the forest. Alright, tell me about the orc bandits. A few nights ago I heard footsteps crashing through the undergrowth, so I darted into the trees. After all, I'm a scout, not a fighter. It turned out to be a couple of orcs stomping about, grumbling about having to go out on patrol. Needless to say, I followed them. I followed them for a while, but they didn't lead me back to their camp. From what they were saying, I'm pretty sure their camp was somewhere here in the Coldwood. Anything else? I gathered their leader was an orc named Vaath, if that helps. And it almost sounded as if they were planning a raid on the Lord's Alliance supply lines, though that's pretty ambitious for a group of simple bandits. Not really anything else I can tell you about those orc bandits, I'm afraid. Is there anything else you want to know? Tell me about the magical portal. I was scouting around and I stumbled across a clearing filled with shimmering columns of dancing light. Not really what you expect to find in the middle of a forest. I don't know much about magic, but I am a tracker, and I know about paths and hidden passages. I'm pretty sure those columns were marking a magical entrance to some wizard's tower or the mage's lab. What's the difference? I haven't heard of any particular wizard who makes his home in the Coldwood, so I imagine the portal leads somewhere that hasn't been used in quite a while. You didn't go through the portal? I'm just a scout, Malcolm. Not about to start messing with power magic, I don't understand. That's a job better left to adventurers like you. Are you implying you are smarter than I am? To be honest, I doubt I could have gone through it anyway. Usually you need some type of activation word or wardstone or scroll to work those things. You really do? Any other portal I've encountered I could just step into, up until this point. Where can I find this portal? That's the funny thing, Malcolm. I pride myself on being a great tracker. I never get lost, but I couldn't even begin to tell you where I stumbled across that portal. I must have triggered a spell to disorient me. Maybe there was some type of magical ward to keep me from remembering where the entrance was hidden. But the good news is that most of these protection wards are one-shot deals. If you manage to find the clearing with the glittering columns, you should probably won't have to worry about the same thing happening to you. Anything else? What do you plan to do now? My orders from Erangend were pretty clear. Scout to the Coldwood and make sure to give you my information about any against agents who happen to be passing by. Maybe you could help me in my mission. I'm a scout. I'm not much good in a fight. That's why Eren sent me to gather information. Eren has a pretty good idea of what his people can do. If he wanted me to join you, he would have told me so. Truth is, he knew I'd probably do you more harm than good. Whatever you decide to do, I'll just stay here at my camp. I'll have to make sure anyone else working for Gent gets his information before they enter the Coldwood. Well, I'll be going now. As you wish. I shall remain here as per Aaron's orders. If you have any questions regarding my explorations of the Coldwood, you come speak to me again. And I'll tell you exactly the same information. No thanks. I'll just start looting here. Because that's what I do. Orc fire archers. No. So far none of this is any threat to me. Ooh, container. Let's see if these orcs have anything of any import. Not really. Though they have been busy by the looks of it. I'll have to remember to give that to Tommy once time comes. But let's clear out more orcs first. I really wish these guys would be a little bit more of a challenge. It would make these fights a little bit more involved. A little bit more interesting. Because it really takes the tension away if your main opposing force is no threat to you whatsoever. And I know that there are stronger enemies further on, but still. I expect at least a little bit more resistance from these guys. Shut up. Why are you still standing here? Oh no, he's casting doom.
Here comes Halfling Death! Ha, ha. I love this part!
Neat skill. That is almost useless against me.
Here comes Halfling Death!
Right, I think we found the orc encampment. They didn't put up any resistance and surrendered immediately. Upon seeing my face. And my hammer face first. Ooh, loot. That's mine. Not much loot though. I mean, really? Is that all? Some bandits. Right, is there anyone back here? Potion of lore. Oh.
I love this
Hey,
part!
Vaath! You are very difficult. Well, maybe. Are you evil? Yes, you are. Me surrender. Yeah, sure you do. You not kill Vaath. You let Vaath live. Why should I? I need your head. Oh. What? Vaath not give you him head? Vaath need head for live. I needed to collect a bounty. Wait, me got an idea. Me give you a head of other orc, one already dead. All orc look alike. No one know it not Vaath. No, I'll just take the head of your shoulders instead. Then me gonna die fighting. Well, you gonna die? That's for certain. And that's the end of Vaath. A great struggle it was indeed. And now we have Vaath's head. But that's the end of this episode. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time.